mommies and friends, this is Taryn Francis here, back with another segment. Thank you again for coming to my channel. If you are new to my channel, please take a moment, peruse the site and see if it's something of your interest, the things that I share, the content that I share. And if you really like my page, be sure to subscribe, as I will be releasing more videos. So today I am sharing with you how I lost my baby weight plus 20 pounds. Dun, 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 dun. It's really no secret formula to this. Okay, so first I want to say that I am in no way, shape, or form a dietitian or a nutritionist. These are things that I'm just sharing that worked for me. Some of the things that I may share are actually things that you already do, or you are aware of it and you probably just don't really want to do it. But I just wanted to share my story about how I lost my weight, because I had so many people come up to me asking, you know, what did I do? Some people making jokes about me losing so much weight, looking really skinny. I guess that's a compliment. I wonder how I was looking before then. So what I'm going to do is kind of take it back a little bit. And at this point, you might be looking at some pictures of me. This is a picture of my wedding day when I want to say I was probably about 130, 135. Around that time, that's kind of my average weight. I was very active in so many different activities, teaching dance, working out, like probably 4 times out the week. So really maintaining my weight. As far as on the eating side, I don't think I was really doing too much. I probably could have been doing a whole lot better. After I got married, I fell into a slump. I relocated to a new state, and where we were living at the time, there were not any gyms around. Even where I work, normally I would have access to a gym, but no. So I did fall into a slump where I just was not working out at all. We were, you know, just enjoying our marriage. I know I was. And so that's where I began to spiral. And so from the time when we got married in 2012 until when I found out that I was pregnant, which was 2014, I actually gained 20 pounds. So I went from 130, 135, and when I found out I was pregnant, it was 2014, I believe. Yeah, because it was September. Wait, no. October when I found out that we were expecting. So it was only like a couple of months after that, that's when I went to go, you know, had my first appointment. And when I got on the scale at my first appointment, I weighed 150. And so I already knew that I was weighing that much. I knew over the 2-year period from being married to where we were with me expecting, yeah, I gained 20 pounds. I ate, I really didn't work out. We stayed in an apartment, so I didn't really want to do too much working out and, you know, have people banging on the ceiling, you know, telling us to be quiet and stuff like that. So my workout life was dead. I didn't do anything. I went from being super active to super nothing but eating, and eating a whole lot more, y'all. I'm talking about ice cream every night. Why was I eating ice cream every night? I don't know, but I think I was just, oh, I'm in love. You know, all of that. Taylor, it was due in June, and so once I got probably to that first week in June, I think they weighed me in. I weighed in at 189 pounds, close to 190. So overall, 60 pounds from me being single to me being pregnant. So a total of 60 pounds is what I had to lose to get back down to where I wanted to be. However, I had a C-section, so with that, I had to take some additional time to get myself together because I had to recover from surgery. You know, that's one thing that I was kind of like, gosh, about, but you know, it is what it is. Thank God that I was healthy throughout. Taylor was healthy throughout. We had a successful birth and all is well. I didn't start working out until September. Like I said, I had to recover. I was starting a new job, so I had to get back into the swing of things and just a whole lot. So I didn't really start working out until September, probably about the end of September. So that was like, what, 3 months. Here are some of the things that contributed to my weight loss. I did breastfeed. I breastfed for 6 months. I told myself that I was going to go from like 6 months to a year. If you can definitely drive on past that 6-month mark, I definitely and highly encourage you to do so. For me, I was working a full-time job and it was just becoming a little hectic for me. So I said, okay, 6 months, I think I did pretty good. I'm going to begin to wean her off. And so that's what I did. But breastfeeding, I do believe, helped a whole lot with definitely getting rid of the weight. I'm telling you, I felt like I lost a whole lot of weight, and I was kind of nervous about, because you know, I needed to eat so that I could produce the nutrients that she needed from me. And so I did a lot of oatmeal for breakfast. For lunch, I had my salads. I didn't go overboard thinking that, well, she needs to eat, and so I, was very mindful of it both ways, both that I needed to make sure I was eating enough, but then also not overeating, if that makes sense. After I had Taylor, I did a whole lot of, it was a lot of change that took place. I began to do a lot of research on food and eating healthier foods, and one of my friends told me about a site that really, it was actually just a blog. It started as a blog, but now it's this lady and her family's business where, they talk about eating whole foods. And for me going to that website, and I'll put the link in, but for me going to that website, it really changed my life. It opened my eyes to a lot of things, the things that I thought I was doing or eating that was healthy for me, and really kind of being stripped of all of those things that I used to eat. Yes. So yeah, I made a whole lot of changes as far as what we were eating. I cut out a lot of foods that were, had a lot of preservatives in it, a lot of foods that had, different stuff in it that really should not belong in food. And no, I am not vegan, I'm not a vegetarian, but for me and my household, we did make a lot of changes within our pantry, within our refrigerator. I started buying a lot of organic produce. I started, as far as my meats, I made sure that, if I, when I do eat meat, that it's organic or it's grass-fed beef, all of those things. I began to make some changes. I've cut out a lot of processed foods. I do a lot of stuff from scratch now for my family. It takes a little more time, may cost a little bit more, but I definitely think it's worth it, and I definitely think that that's something that contributed to my weight loss. And I had to start somewhere. This was not an overnight process for me. I tell y'all, one time I went into the grocery store, especially after I began to become more knowledgeable about food and what's in food and all of that. I went to the grocery store and I was depressed because I was looking around at the stuff on the shelves, the stuff that I was used to buying, and I didn't even know what to get for food because I had been stripped of what I thought I knew. Yeah, it was so sad. I came home with a little bit of groceries. I didn't know what to cook, I didn't know what to do, but thank God, he's really been giving me grace as far as changing up the recipes and, just really being mindful of what's going into our food. Now, I will say I am, if we go out to eat, that's one thing. I still do splurge sometimes, but I believe being mindful of it and making the necessary adjustments where I can has been a great start for me. And I'm a pro now in the grocery store. Even though I do most of my grocery shopping on ClickList, I'm a pro. I'm like, no, I don't want that. Oh no, I can't eat that. But it works for me. It works for me. I do a lot of salads. I have probably spinach every day, and I'm actually starting to eat avocado every day. I've become very disciplined and not overindulging in sweets. Sometimes I won't even buy ice cream or any of that stuff for the house. I actually started making my own ice cream at one point. I haven't lately, but yeah, so I had to make a lot of those type of changes and just be, become real disciplined in, the foods that I'm cooking and the snacking. That's what gets me. If we have snacks in the pantry, I will eat them. And so I stopped buying all of that stuff. And what I noticed is that I stopped craving it because I knew it wasn't in my pantry, and I believe that definitely helped out a whole lot. You know, I didn't have to go, you know, it makes it tough when you have cookies sitting in the pantry and you have ice cream in the freezer. Come on now. So I had to get that stuff out of here. I had to go, and so I replaced it with a lot of fruits. If I have cravings for some type of sweet or, you know, just something to crunch on, I get almonds now. I do oranges, bananas, just something, or I'll make a smoothie even, you know, just to kind of get that cold feeling and all of that stuff. Now, like I said, when we go out to eat, that's a little different because, you know, there is, very few restaurants that probably cook like whole foods, and you know, their foods don't have the preservatives in it. It's probably a few right now. If y'all know of any places that, you know, specialize in that, please let me know. I know of a couple of places around here, but you know, that kind of is what it is. I don't beat myself up about it. I have my own ideology about it. I have my own theory about it. I say if I'm doing well 80% of the time, then that 20% probably won't really make a difference. So I may be wrong in that, but I noticed that it works for me. I lost my baby weight plus my 20 pounds. Moving on to something else that I know really strongly contributed to me losing the baby weight plus the 20 pounds, which is, I wonder if you all can guess. Exercise, exercise, exercise. You have to exercise, people. It's a part of it. Exercise, and I don't even really like to call it diet and exercise, but diet on the basis of what you eat, not necessarily going on a diet, but diet and exercise. You need those two things in your life. That's going to help you lose the weight. That's what helped me lose the weight. I began to be very consistent in my workouts, and it was kind of tough at first because I hadn't been in the gym in a while. When I was pregnant with Taylor, I would do some walking around my job, but that was about it. That was probably all the activity that I was getting. So having her and then getting back into the gym, I had to really work myself up. My thing is, I love the treadmill, or I love the elliptical, and so I just had to take baby steps. I had to kind of just build myself up to it. Probably started like walking for maybe like 15 minutes on the treadmill, to running for like 5 minutes. Having a goal every time I went in the gym really helped me out. I said, okay, you know, you gotta know your body, you gotta know what you can and can do, and then you have to push yourself a little bit further even after you reach that goal. So I started working out on the treadmill. That was my thing. Like, I would run probably 5 minutes, then try to go a little bit longer, maybe like a couple of minutes over my goal of 5 minutes running straight. And eventually I began to work up momentum. I began to build up with every time that I went into the gym. It began to just be so liberating for me that I was accomplishing, and though I had not seen any results just yet, I knew that progress was being made. So I stayed in the gym. I probably would only really go to the gym at least 2 to 3 times out the week because I am a mom, I am a wife, I have, you know, have a family, have to take care of. Thankfully, where I work, I was able to go to the gym and, you know, get my time in, my fitness time in. So exercise has really helped me out a lot. So one thing I want to say about diets, I didn't necessarily put myself on a diet. I find that those things don't work for me for real. So I like to call it lifestyle changes. Like I shared with the food and just beginning to do a lot more research on what I was actually eating, what was in my foods, and making those necessary adjustments bit by bit. I would learn something, then I would begin to make some changes in that area, then I would learn something else. I had to do some research because I'm like, okay, you know, I didn't only just want to look at the calories of something, but I want to look at the actual ingredients, and that's what I did. And I believe making those adjustments bit by bit has really contributed to me losing the weight, and not only losing the weight, but keeping the weight off. Now I want to give you some key points on just as far as you wanting to lose the weight and really begin to create a routine or something, you need to do your research. You need to do your research, you need to read, you need to expose, you need to talk with other moms, ask them what they did, and really just begin to do your own research about what you're trying to accomplish. You're trying to lose the weight, you know, of course you know that diet and exercise are two main important things that's going to really help you. So start researching, you know, food, and if you are interested in diet, start researching those things. If you are, you know, if you're planning to work out and, you know, you really want to see some results, start researching. YouTube, people, you're on here now watching YouTube. Why not after you watch this video and subscribe to those of you who are not subscribed yet, why not after this video you go and do some research on some exercises? That's what I do. It's like now I'm in a state where I've accomplished dropping the weight, but where I am now, I'm ready to tone, I'm ready to build muscle. And so what I've been doing is doing some research on, you know, toning and strength training and all of that type of stuff. And one thing that I get so super nervous about when I go to the gym, and I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone, are the weights, are the free weights, are, you know, all the machines and stuff. That stuff can be kind of intimidating for me. And so I'm slowly stepping out. I'm slowly trying something new now where I'm pushing myself outside of my comfort zone to get the desired results. And so that's what you have to do. You need to do your research. You need to expose yourself to those things, because until you see it, until you see and learn it and know it, you won't be able to do anything. Truth. You need to have a game plan. You can't just, haphazardly or wishfully want to lose the weight and you don't have a game plan. Like I shared, my game plan was already in my mind. Once I have this baby, I am going to go to the gym. I am going to make some changes to get this weight off of my body. I was not pleased and happy with the weight that I had on me. For my height, and 150 is actually not a bad number. It's not a bad weight. It's not like I was overweight, but for me being 5'4", I was plump in my face. You'll see the pictures. I was plump in my face and it just did not look good on me. So I knew I had a game plan in my mind, like something has to change. I'm going to the gym once I have this baby. And had I not had to get a C-section, I would have been in the gym on the next day. Hospital, where is your gym? Nah, I'm just playing. Don't put pressure on yourself, which actually is my next point. No pressure. Stop putting pressure on yourself, because when you put pressure on yourself, you're putting stress on yourself. You're thinking like, I should have accomplished this by now. No, flow with yourself. Don't look at anybody else. Yes, you're watching this video, but don't compare yourself to me. Don't compare your results to mine. Just take it as inspiration and apply it and shape it to what you want. And so that's what you have to do. Stop putting pressure on yourself to think that you have to reach this mark. And so with that being said, even for me, I didn't always go and pull out the scale, you know, after I come from the gym. Actually, I went probably like a couple of weeks without even getting on the scale, because I didn't want that pressure. And for me, I found that it really helped, because the weight just gradually fell off. And it really wasn't until other people started coming up to me to say, wow, you look really skinny, or until I put on a pair of pants that I couldn't initially fit anymore and they fit. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I see some results now. But I refused to put pressure on myself. I had a goal. I did what I could with that goal, and I accomplished it without the added pressure. I believe that I actually reached my goal within like 10 months, almost close to her year birthday. So that's why you don't want to put pressure on yourself. You know, you want to go at your own pace and do what works for you. No pressure. No pressure, mommies. No pressure, friends. Do things in moderation. Don't think that you have to have this just overnight change or this, you know, overnight action to take place. You know, bit by bit, you know, like the tortoise and the hare, slow and steady wins the race. I need to buy that book for Taylor. So I hope that you all enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful. If it was, be sure to like, share, and don't you forget to subscribe. as I will be sharing more videos. If you also have questions, be sure to drop those in the comments below. I am willing to help where I can. I'm just sharing what worked for me as far as my journey with losing the baby weight plus the 20 pounds. I am happily back at my weight of 130. Kind of fluctuates a little bit, but between 130 135, happily back there. Just trying to maintain it. Holidays just passed, y'all, and it was real. I really had to be a little more disciplined on myself. No pressure, but I just had to kind of say, okay, that's enough cake, that's enough ice cream. All right, you don't need those cookies. But enjoy the process, enjoy the journey. And be sure to take notes, because just as I helped you, you can help somebody else. And that's what it's really all about. So until next time, you all keep the revamp going. Bye.